Mr. Ambassador, good to sit with you. Thank you for your hospitality.
Pleasure being here.
You spent a good deal of your career as a writer and journalist. If you were going to do a story about Pakistan this afternoon, what would the headline be? What would the first paragraph say?
Pakistan is going through a transformation. It is finally mobilizing opinion against jihadis who have dominated Pakistan's discourse since the war against the Soviets in 1979.
We see on television, we read in the newspaper, hear on the radio, suicide bombings, 2.5 million refugees from the Swat Valley. It seems like chaos to us.
But actually, it's because you're only seeing one part of the picture. Pakistan is a country of 160 million people. It has very vibrant cities. Why are we where we are? It's important to understand that. Now what has happened is that the democratically elected government of Pakistan, led by President Zardari and Prime Minister Gilani, has gone to the people with the slogan that this is our war. We are not fighting the terrorists because they threaten America. We are fighting the terrorists because they threaten our own people. We've lost our own most popular political leader, Benazir Bhutto, to terrorists. We have lost several hundred civilians to terrorism only in the last 1 year. The terrorists really do not respect the Pakistani military. And so the Pakistani people are now mobilized. Now you talk about the internally displaced people. Why did these people move out of their homes? They did not move out of their homes because they were under attack, but because they wanted to prevent becoming human shields for the Taliban, so that the military could actually fight the Taliban more effectively, which is why 85% of the Swat Valley has now been cleared of the Taliban.
Is the military going to stay there?
Yes, the military will stay there. In
will
fact,
the people go back home?
And the people will go back home. And here's the key. If the world can support the people of Pakistan and say, you know what, we support your military in fighting the terrorists, but we also support you in your moment of suffering. The United States was very generous in giving money to military regimes in Pakistan to build up military power. But it's also time to be generous with the people of Pakistan. And very frankly, the people in Swat don't have very many needs.
Let me hold on that note. Tell the folks at home, if you're just joining us, we're talking with the ambassador from Pakistan to the United States. His name is Husain Haqqani. And sit tight. On the other side, this is America. This is America is brought to you by Hyundai Motor America, maker of the 2009 Sonata. The National Education Association, the nation's largest advocate for children and public education. The Rotendaro Family Trust, the CTC Foundation, and the American Life TV network. Mr. Ambassador, if you wipe the slate clean and you got one thought, just one simple thought into the minds of the American people, the American viewers right now, what would that simple thought be?
If the American people can start realizing that making a better life for people in different parts of the world can actually help protect America from threats of people who would antagonize militias against Americans, who would create hatred against America, that would be a positive development.
Let me get a couple of basics down. 160 million people. A fairly young country, huh?
Very young.
How old is Pakistan?
Well, Pakistan has been around as an independent nation for 62 years.
62 years, but that's a short history as well,
Absolutely.
Right? What do the people do there?
Well, 45% are farmers, 55% are engaged in all kinds of services and industries. Pakistan is one of the world's largest producers of cotton, so a lot of cotton textiles come from Pakistan, and basically it's a whole range of activities.
It's an Islamic country, right?
It's an overwhelmingly Muslim country, yes.
And is that, and I mean this with great respect, Can that be good news and bad news?
It can be very, very good news, and here's why. Because Pakistan was conceived as a democratic state. If Pakistan has, on the one hand, we have issues like 42% of our school-going age children do not go to school.
Do not go to school.
But at the same time, we also have a highly educated population in certain segments of our population. Pakistan, as you know, has produced many Silicon Valley IT professionals, many doctors in the United States. There's more than 20,000 doctors of Pakistani origin in the United States. So your viewers, if they are watching this in the state of Kentucky, most likely their contact with a Pakistani is in the form of their local general practitioner.
How about the economy? I read an article recently that said the economy is bankrupt. Is that a fair statement?
I think it's a very unfair statement.
Unfair.
The economy, of course, rises and falls every now and then, and of course Pakistan has been affected by the global economic turndown, as well as the impact that a war like the war against terror would have on an economy. But that said, Pakistan has certain inherent strengths. Pakistan sits at the crossroads of three regions: the Middle East, Central Asia, and South Asia.
It's an important spot geographically.
It's a very important spot, and it can actually become the crossroads of opportunities for its people.
Let me ask this. Huge military, 1 million people, and an intelligence service that has played a major role over a long period of time. Is that a good news, bad news situation?
It's a complex situation. The Pakistani military, of course, Pakistan inherited a large military.
But did not some of the people in the military and some of the people in the intelligence service support what is now the Taliban and still does?
I think that the still does part is something on which we have to discuss a little later. First, let's talk about what they did. What happened was that at the time of independence, Pakistan felt Pakistan was carved out of India. And so there was an insecurity that there were people in India who may want to undo Pakistan. And that insecurity, which does not necessarily have to do with substance of policy, but has to do with perception, made Pakistan develop its military capability to protect itself. The military...
Does it fear India today?
I think that there are people in Pakistan who are fearful of India, but there are others who think that Pakistan and India can develop a cooperative relationship, which can be beneficial for both. And I think I'm one of those who thinks that Pakistan and India need to work out their differences, including our differences over Jammu and Kashmir. But look, the time for war is gone. Both countries have nuclear weapons. We can't go to war without destroying our populations.
And there are more important things to do, really?
Much more important things to do. India and Pakistan need to join up in fighting poverty, disease, ignorance, hunger. Both countries have large segments of the population that live below the poverty line. We can really make our region very prosperous and strong.
Who is the Taliban?
The Taliban are the second generation of the Mujahideen that fought the Soviet Union in Afghanistan. They are a lot more conservative because the Mujahideen had been recruited from amongst people who had had some modern education. The Taliban are people who have had only a very limited, narrow learning of religious texts and have been heavily influenced by a worldview which excludes the rest of the world.
Are there many of them?
Well, I think that in Pakistan, the Taliban are a minority, a very small minority.
Like how many thousands?
Well, we are talking about maybe tens of thousands in a nation of 160 million. But the important thing to remember is that they are armed and they are trained to fight, and many of them are willing to lay down their lives.
And is there a link between the Taliban in Pakistan and the Taliban in Afghanistan? Is it one of the same?
Well, they're not necessarily the same. They are motivated by different objectives in the local context. The Taliban in Afghanistan want to establish a Taliban state in Afghanistan. They want to expel the United States and foreign powers.
Is that not true in Pakistan as well?
The Pakistani Taliban are more concerned about creating enclaves for themselves within Pakistan. Very few of them really think that they can actually take over the whole country. Because they are geographically limited, they are ethnically from a certain ethnic group. Pakistan is a much bigger country.
That's kind of true of the whole country, though, isn't it? This great diversity geographically, ethnically, language as well.
Pakistan is one of the most diverse Muslim majority countries in the world. We have several languages spoken in our country, we have different ethnicities, and that is why it is a great country to build a pluralist democracy. Because if we can be a pluralist democracy, then other Muslim countries that are more homogeneous in their population